Alright, I'm back for another video, and this time we're checking out the Prism XR Puppis S1. And odds are, if you're watching this video right now, you're trying to find a way to make wireless VR a lot better. I'm hoping that this is the solution to that. Quick little fun fact here before we continue. On the back of this box, you can see a star constellation on here, and it says Puppis on there. It says named after the steadfast Puppis in Argo Navis. The Argo Navis, known as the ship Argo, is an obsolete constellation. It represented the vessel used by Jason and the Argonauts in Greek mythology. That star constellation was so big they later divided it into three sections: the carina, the keel, the vela, the sails, and the puppis, the stern. Now puppis comes from the Latin word for stern, and since people also refer to the stern as the poop deck, you could technically call this the Prism XR Poop Deck S1. Anyways, let's finally check this thing out. Real quick here, we'll go over what's on the back. It just says dedicated connection by Prism Pulse Mode, AX3000 ultra-fast Wi-Fi, easy setup with EaseLink, broad compatibility, versatile modes, and minimalist design. And I will say the box is a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be. All right, enough messing around. Let's get this thing open. And I think this knife is the perfect one because look at it. It has space on it. Let's cut this open, cutting toward myself like a complete professional. This side has one as well. There we go. All right, it's time to open this. I'm so excited. I really want this to work because if it doesn't, I don't know what to do. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, this is really what matters. So let's see here. It's just kind of sitting in there, huh? All right, well, this is definitely small. Looks a bit like a tiny PlayStation 5. I do like that it's small though, because it means it can sit places and not take up a lot of space. I kind of expected it to be like in plastic or something. I don't like when they send stuff like this because it makes it feel like it was used. I don't think it was, but it's just how they did it. Now we got this little spot there to pull it out. What is in there? Okay, this is the cable that comes with. All right, what else? Empty box. All right, there's a little thank you card. Here's the thing about how to use it. That's a lot. That's like a whole fan. So I guess here off camera, I'll have to check this out a little bit because I don't think you're going to be too interested in me going over all of this with you. That would be pretty boring. So, oh. Don't rip. It does say here though that you should either have two USB-A 3.0 ports or one USB-A 3.0 port and one USB-A 2.0. Alternatively, you can use a USB-C 3.0 C to C data transfer cable. Not provided. And that cable they're talking about is probably exactly like that $80 link cable that I got suckered into buying a while back. And down here where these pictures are, it does say internet by PC sharing, internet by Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi hotspot mode. But I think what we're going to want is Prism Pulse mode. All right, this is what I've been looking for. It says download and install Prism XR desktop. So that's what I want to do. I want to make sure I have that. And then it gives you a thing to type in here to download it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that quick. All right, it's installed. We get a little icon up here for it. And now I think it's time to plug in the poop deck. All right, so we'll get our little cable here and you can see the different USB-As there. Kind of wondering how long this is going to be too. Well, that's a thick cable. It's not super long, but it's not super short either. It should be good enough. And right there is a reset button and where you plug it in. Also, there is an L and R on here for left and right. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And there's an L and R on here too to let you know you're plugging it in the right way. Oh yeah, real quick. Let me plug in that link cable. 80 bucks. And I never use it. I don't even know if this is gonna work. I would prefer it to not be like this. Let me see what happens here. Unfortunately, it doesn't power it on this way because it's just slightly too crooked and it's not going in fully. Will this even fit in there? See, now that's a problem. Look at that. It's just not going in far enough. There's just stuff around it. So it's gonna be complicated to find a cable that actually fits in there. Actually though, real quick, it does actually work. If I plug it in goofy-like this, it looks like you can use them as long as they're a data cable and they're good enough. I'll probably just use the one that it came with. All right, I think I have to open the app now. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that's up and it says click to start. So I guess I'm just gonna do that. You know what? This app right here is a little more confusing than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to take some time so you don't have to watch me stumble through this. I'm going to learn how to use this. That way I can come back and just show you what to do. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and I've had quite a while to get used to using this thing. It is definitely not very new user friendly at first. Once you get it set up though and you use it a couple of times, it kind of sinks in and makes sense and it's not so intimidating after a while. But that first initial setup might be really confusing. So a few things to know before we even get started here. If you have yours plugged into a USB hub that's powered, it maybe has power switches, make sure it's powered on at the same time or before you turn on your computer. It just won't work right if you turn it on after. Also, there's two apps. There's one for the desktop and one for the phone. Now, when I went to download the app on my phone, it said it wasn't compatible with my version of Android for some reason. So I went to use an old phone to try it. And then for some reason, when I went back to my newer phone, it worked. I don't know if you'll have a problem with that or not, but eventually I was able to download it and use it. So a quick clarification about that phone app. You might not actually need it that much. I didn't. My Puppis was already up to date when I checked on the app for a firmware update. It seems like the phone app is mostly for if you're using your Puppis as a Wi-Fi router and, like I said, to check for firmware updates. But if yours is already up to date and you're using it only for PCVR, you probably really won't need the phone app all that much. Now, I do keep it on my phone just in case, and I'll show you here in just a little bit how to actually check for a firmware update, but so far I've never really needed the app. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I have mine set up that it works pretty well. One of the first things you can do here is just go to Windows OS and go to Services, and I have these all set to auto. Now, one thing it's going to recommend is that your Puppis is on a private network. You might have to change that every single time you turn this on. I have to make sure it's set like that, and it'll let you do it manually or when you do a quick scan. I'll show you how to do both. To do it manually, just click Network Interfaces and then find your Puppis. For me, it's the Ethernet 2. And then right here, you can just click Private and make it private. Okay, so let's go to Quick Scan here. And when you click this, it will run through everything it needs to function correctly. You might see a couple things pop up orange here, and that's because I don't have my headset on connected to the Puppis, but it'll go through everything and it'll let you know. And in here, if it's also not set to private, it'll give you an option to fix that too. So there are two ways of doing it. You can do it manually yourself the way I showed you, or you can do it with the scan. But it will scan 21 items, it says up here, and 19 of them are normal. And like I said, the only reason this is like this is because I just don't have my headset turned on. If you click Home and you see this here, it will ask you to set your region, and it will ask you what mode you want. Prism Pulse mode is what you want for using the wireless VR. Now, it will recommend you use internet by PC sharing here. You can also use Wi-Fi, but basically the PC sharing, your computer is a bridge from your router to the Puppis, and Wi-Fi is obviously the Puppis is getting internet from your router. And if you go to support right here is a PC internet sharing guide. This will show you exactly what you need for Windows 10 and Windows 11 to set this up. Now, you will need to go to a certain spot, okay? And I have Windows 11, and the Windows 11 directions on here weren't quite right. So what I had to do is it wants you to go here to this part right here, your network connections, okay? So what I had to do to bring that up was go to Control Panel here, and then click Network and Internet, and then click Network and Sharing Center. And then over here to the left, you'll see it says Change Adapter Settings. And you can see it's the same thing. I don't know why their instructions doesn't take you there, but this is how I had to get there. And then you just do exactly as it says, and it should work pretty well. There also is a FAQ here. And in the FAQ, there is some pretty valuable information in here, like how to connect the Puppis S1 to the internet, how to perform software upgrades, more about PC internet sharing. Also, it says the download speed of the computer has become slower. That actually happened to me, and what happened was, for some reason, my computer was trying to get the internet from the Puppis instead of the Puppis getting the internet from my computer or my router, and this will explain how to do that too. And right here it does say, when you plug in the Puppis S1, the computer will connect to the internet through the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi of the Puppis S1, which can result in slower download speeds. And it says there are two solutions. Solution 1, set network priority on the computer. Prioritize the network the computer is connected to for details, and then it tells you where to go for more details on how to do that. And then solution 2, use PC internet sharing. And if you are having any problems, some of those problems you're having might be in here, and you might find some solutions to those too. Also, here on the app, if you click the button on top of the Puppis once, you can pair it to your phone. And when you pair it with the app here, you hit that, and you could go up to the top right where the settings are, and you can hit firmware version and just make sure that the software is up to date. And then once all that's set up and done, you put on your headset and you go to the internet section and you find Prism Pulse and you sign into that. And if you want to set up a password for that, you can. And then the Puppis is where you'll be getting the internet from as opposed to your router. I guess one of the reasons they recommend PC sharing is because if you're playing an online game, the connection is probably a little more stable since everything would be wired, and the only wireless thing would be from the Puppis to your headset. This might seem like a whole lot, and yeah, it kind of is at first, but trust me, once you do this a couple times, this doesn't seem so big, and it kind of condenses down into like, oh, okay, I understand this now, as opposed to at first when it's like, what is all this? So now it comes to the point where I talk about whether or not I think it was worth getting. And so far, I think it's pretty much a game changer. Sometimes my regular router was great, and then sometimes it was a laggy mess. And so far, using the Puppis, I haven't had that problem at all. And I think if you tweak your settings right, and you get everything dialed in, this will probably be a game changer for you too. Maybe sometime in the future, the Meta Quests will come with a dongle or something, which would be fantastic, but until that day comes, I think this is the perfect solution if you can't or don't want to use your link cable. I'm very thankful that I found that this thing even exists, because there for a while I thought I was just kind of stuck with a bad connection. I really don't mind all of this stuff you have to go through to use it since it works so well. I probably won't use it though for anything other than Prism Pulse mode, but it is kind of cool that it does do other things. And also, if you look right here, you can see that megabits per second is 2401, where my regular home router was only 1200. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I'm glad I have it. I'd rather have it than not have it, and I think that says a lot about any device like this, really. Sometimes you just get stuff and it just doesn't do the thing you want it to do. This so far seems to do what it says it does. And if you do end up getting one of these, I really do hope that it helps. These games are awesome. I love VR, and when you have to play with lag and the stuttering, it just is not fun. And so far I'm having a lot more fun, and I'm not as afraid to buy a PCVR game that you can only get on PC. I hope this video was enough to help you figure out how to use this thing if you end up watching this, if you get one of these. And I hope if you did get one of these that it fixes all the problems you have. I'm not trying to sell this thing to you. I just know how frustrating it is to just want to use VR and have it not work right. VR games are very fun. It's just sometimes there's a lot of things that have to go right for it to be an enjoyable experience. And if there's something out there that can help all those things go right, I'm willing to give it a shot. And so far, I'm glad I gave it a chance. And if you did watch this video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me, and hopefully I'll see you around on the internet again someday. Later.